After a suspicious blast was heard and noticed by the local residents right out close to the Israel embassy, Israel has issued a travel advisory. Israel has issued this advisory for India in the aftermath of a suspected blast near the Israel embassy, not remember just added, but near in that part in Delhi, asking the nationals to avoid crowded places if in India. 2 suspects have been nabbed. After examining the CCTV surveillance, the Delhi police has been able to identify 2 suspects, but further investigation is on. According to our information, there was a letter also seized from that location, which allegedly had on the letter Sir Allah Resistance. The cops, of course, are investigating further details, but this gains prominence, remember, with the Israel-Hamas war that is presently on and has been ongoing since 7th October. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, is joining me for the latest on that. Geeta, now this was a suspicious explosion. Investigation is on that, and Indian agencies are looking at this very seriously. Why then has Israel given out a travel advisory?
Well, a travel advisory by any country is given when they know that their nationals and their staff, diplomats, are targets. In this case, very particularly, the fact that there was a letter addressed to the Israeli ambassador clearly shows that the message was for the Israeli embassy and Israelis in India, which is why the National Security Ministry in Israel has issued a travel advisory clearly stating out a few recommendations for Israelis staying in India, particularly in New Delhi, to avoid crowded places, which is identified as being used by Western or, for that matter, Jewish and Israeli nationals. Maintain increased vigilance in public places, avoid externalizing Israeli symbols, avoid participating in events with many participants, meaning which is not a secure area, and avoid posting trip details as to where they are, if they're partying in some place, putting up photos of that place. Avoid those actions so that there is no untoward incident that takes place in terms of them turning out to become targets of these elements. So a very strict and a very detailed advisory, Pooja, has been put out in wake of the explosions that were heard near the Israeli embassy yesterday. Delhi police saying that no explosives were found, but the fact that there was a letter addressed to the Israeli envoy clearly shows the level of threat for Israelis living in India, particularly in New Delhi, that it has increased. Okay. And owing to the increase of threat assessment, this advisory has been issued.
All right, so Geeta telling us about Israel's travel advisory to its citizens. And importantly, I must add here, agencies here as well in Delhi are looking at all angles. 2 suspects have been nabbed. And what was that suspicious blast explosion near the embassy? And that is all being taken into account. Appreciate you joining us, Geeta Mohan, with the latest.